Hello, welcome back to another news video for Final Fantasy XIV with me, Meoni. And as you can see, obviously there have been quite a lot of technical issues for the past year or so on North American data centers specifically, with DDoS attacks and other technical difficulties. But majoritively it's been DDoS attacks, which has been a really bad turn of events, obviously with the world first race taking place this week. And next, right, with people working on the new Savage tier, the heavyweight Arcadian tier. And it's just really sad to see, quite honestly, seeing people working really hard, live streaming their progress and then getting disconnected multiple times in a day. And honestly, I would have expected something to happen by now, especially with something so important to a good portion of people who play the game. And it's just kind of depressing to see that there's not really any solution for this. I'm not really sure what solution there is. I'm not very technically minded when it comes to this sort of stuff, but these endless attacks are basically making the game practically unplayable for a good portion of the player base. So I'm hoping that there'll be some updates posted about this, and maybe hopefully we can get some answers before, obviously, towards the end of this expansion there's supposed to be an ultimate sometime in the 7.5 series. So it really is quite important that they address this somehow. But yes, there are over 122 pages here of recoveries and other technical issues, of course, but the majority of those are DDoS attacks. So it's been really unfortunate to witness, but congratulations to those who still managed to scrape world seconds and beyond, right, on the North American side and EU side. And obviously congrats to Japan, who were able to take the world first. Very cool, very exciting to watch. I've been watching them very closely. So in terms of actual updates then, what has been happening? So there was an update yesterday on January the 7th where they've addressed a few things. So I thought we'd look at this. Unfortunately, there still isn't any address of the DDoS attacks, which is very unfortunate. Hopefully that's something, like we say, they can actually find a solution to, because it's getting quite worrying, really. And it could happen to any region. So even as an EU person looking at this, I'm going, well, this isn't where the game needs to be, especially with the criticism that Dawntrail received from a large populace. It would be nice if we could play the game, or at least a good portion of us could play the game. So for the updates then, there was a few hotfixes yesterday. These were indicated before and were addressed on each duty world with no maintenance interruptions. So they didn't need to bring it down for these. So you might not have, well, you wouldn't have seen any patches or anything. So this was at 6 p.m. PST yesterday. And effectively, what they've done, they say the following issues have been addressed. In heavyweight M2 Savage, the following actions damage over time effect was resisted against Watery Grave, which was Bard's Caustic Bite and Machinist Bioblaster. So it looks like they have addressed this. This was something that obviously wasn't intended. So if you do play Machinist or Bard, that's what was going on with the damage over time effects against Watery Grave. It was not supposed to do what it did. But yeah, I'm glad they were quick to make changes to that. I'm sure there'll be lots of other hotfixes, perhaps, with the Savage tier. I've heard nothing but good things from it, though. But we'll have to wait and see. I haven't gone in there myself yet. I'm still, probably going to go in there this week sometime. In the Bosnian Southern Front, the drop rate of Forgotten Fragment of Resolve, so something happened with Bosnia, awarded upon completing the following critical engagements was significantly lower than intended. This is the Marching Orders Metal Fox Chaos, the Trampled on a Hoof, and Where Strode the Behemoth. They say for players who are unable to obtain the above, due to this issue, we will review the logs, and once preparations are complete, grant the number of items that should have been received, and they apologize for any inconvenience that may have been caused. So I'm not really sure how Bosnian Southern Front's rewards from critical engagements was affected the release of the Savage tier, right? But it was, so that's a known thing. Obviously, these are positive changes, and I'm sure these won't be the last changes to be made. But yeah, the big thing about this is that, unfortunately, even though people have been getting their way through the game and through the Savage tier, this has gone on for far too long. And it would be nice to have just a statement being put out by Yoshi P or the rest of the team. I'm frankly quite surprised there hasn't been anything in regards to that. I would have liked to have seen hey, we know that we've been having issues. We're ongoing looking at this. Congrats to the teams that, managed to push through beyond the DDoS attacks. Because I think a lot of people actually need credit for that, because it's not something that a lot of people feel very motivated to do. And what could potentially be a really good raid tier. I mean, the Arcadian itself has been exceptional from my experience, so hopefully they address it. I would like to see some compensation given out to North American players, quite honestly, like a month of game time or something, or even not even anything like that, just an acknowledgement of this. I think that would be important at this point, and a lot of people are a little bit, confused why nothing has been brought forward. No notices have been given. I guess the only thing I can think of is perhaps if they were to put something out, like an actual statement, perhaps that would be buying into whoever is doing those attacks, right? To glorify them, to martyr them, to actually give them what they want, which is attention. But I'm not really sure at this point if that's a good idea, because a lot of people are probably going to navigate away from the game. And it's a really good patch. Like 7.4 is actually fantastic from an MSQ standpoint, from like the duty standpoint, the Savage standpoint. It's a really, really good set of patch content. But it just seems that a lot of people are going to, unfortunately miss out on that, which really sucks. Anyway, let me know what you think about this. I don't know anything technical about servers and things like that, so I'll let you discuss that below. But what would be the ultimate solution to this if you were on that developer mindset? Because I have absolutely no idea. Let me know below, and hopefully we get some news soon. Much love, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.